Big Sills, National Football Show. Pull up a chair, because this is going to get a little heavy today. Okay. Nice. Jalen Hurts on the first tee. Nice job. I like it. But always remember something. There's 18 holes to a round of golf. Here's some of the takeaways. By the way, please hit the like button. Team effort was sensational last night. 24-7 victory. The whole thing was great. The electricity in the building, the fans, the stars in the building, everything was there. And the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely showed up last night in every single facet of the game. Special teams, defense, offense. It was on full display last night. Outstanding effort by the football team. And one thing I got to tell you here, before we get started, I've always been transparent with you. When I see something, I comment on what I saw, not what I think is going to happen. See a lot of fortune tellers in here, okay? That's not who I am. I've told you this. And I'm fair. I don't throw rose petals at anybody's feet. So how we do this, some of you, I don't wait 15 days to sit around to get your opinion or whether or not you're going through therapy or not before Big Sil says something. I say it right now. And if you don't like it, that's a you deal. That's a you deal. So let me get through my takeaways from last night. As I said, the team was special last night. They looked like, as I've been saying, the best and deepest roster in the NFC. They looked like it last night. Jonathan Gannon. I don't know still if it's his scheme. That was the difference last night, but it sure was the players' effort. Darius Slay, I'll get to him in a second. I thought the players inside Jonathan Gannon's scheme, I thought they were effective, especially in the middle with Hargrave and Fletcher Cox. Okay? I thought they played well. And remember what I told you also yesterday. Whoever wins the rushing title for last night's game is going to win the game. And hands down, it was the Eagles last night. I mean, Dalvin Cook was a non-factor. We'll get to the stats in the game here. So Gannon's guys, I'm still not on Jonathan Gannon. One game out of 20 does not make me sit here and go, well, he's a great D coordinator. But it's a good start to turning this thing around with the new talent. So to me, I think he got a fresh start last night. Here we go. I'm not going to erase 19 shitty games because he had a great game last night. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not a one-game season. I know some of you are all excited about that. This is not a one-game season. This is going to play itself out, my friends. I'll get to your comments here in a second, I promise you. Jalen Hurts, that was by far the best football game, collegiately or professionally, I have ever seen him play. I have never seen him play like that. The strike down the middle of the field to Quez Watkins, the touch pass that went into Goddard that wasn't caught, the way that he wanted to get Devontae Smith involved in the game plan immediately, the way he moved around, his confidence factor in the pocket, all of that resulted in his greatest game as a pro last night. There is no doubt that was his shining moment last night. The question will be, will it get better? And if that's all it is, that's good enough to win a Super Bowl. Because that right there, my friends, was as good as it can get. And I'm going to say something to you, too, about the Eagle offense and something that I came to grips with last night. It might be the most unique offense in the National Football League. And the reason I say that, You guys remember the old Georgia Tech teams under Coach Johnson? And you remember the Fisher DeBerry Air Force teams? You played an off team that really didn't run a conventional offense. And all of a sudden, you see something that doesn't resemble the rest of the National Football League. That's kind of what you're seeing when you play the Eagles. Hey, and by the way, this just for notes. The two teams that played each other at the beginning of the season, Lions and Eagles, do you know Detroit is the highest scoring offense in the NFC at 35.5? That's a pretty good football team as it's turned out to be. And the Eagles have the most total offense of any team in the National Football League, and I think it's like not close to the second team. Pretty remarkable on what those two teams, when we first saw them in week one, what they've becoming and what they're looking like they may be towards the end of the year here. But as good as it can get for Jalen last night, he was focused. I thought for the first time, reading progressions and the way he found other wide receivers, he was great last night. There is no getting around it. Now, some of you would say this. Well, Sills, he's a friend. I'm not there. It's the first tee box. What are you, nuts? This is the first tee box. Actually, it's the second tee box. We still got a bunch of holes to play here. Okay? He's still got a bunch of holes to play. I'm not there yet. I'm not at $240 million yet. Absolutely not. Being a starting quarterback in the National Football League is consistency. That's his greatest game. Actually, I even said this to you. I thought he played pretty decent after you went back and looked at the Detroit tape. I thought he played pretty smart in that game. So far, he's passed audition 2. There's going to be 17 auditions this year for Jalen Hurts. I know some of you are all excited and you're like one of those dolls that pull oh my God, everybody's so great. You guys are all, hang in there, pump the brakes. Let's check it out here. Let's see how we do as we go into the season. Everybody's all excited right now. Wow. And rightfully so. All kidding aside. Rightfully so. No question. What they did to the Vikings was absolutely awesome, especially on the offensive side of the football. I actually thought Fletcher Cox played a pretty damn good football game last night. Now, here's the issue that I told you what would happen. Fletcher will give you one game, and then 10 will be awful. Let's see how he plays against the Washington Commanders this weekend. If he could string 2 games together, because he hasn't in the last 20 games. That was a heck of a performance last night by him. I thought Hargrave as well played pretty well. Okay? Darius Slay completely shut down Justin Jefferson last night. That was as good of a performance I have seen a corner play on a star wide receiver in a long time. Okay? That was as good as you can get. Okay? That was like Stephon Diggs destroying Jalen Ramsey in the opening game of the season, but turned around where Darius did it to the elite wideout in Justin Jefferson. He was special last night. I'm going to get to your takes in a minute. Okay? I'll get to your takes. By the way, bottom of the hour, Merrill Reese. 4:30, I want to get a recap on what Gary thought last night. Gary Cobb from Fox 29. Miles Sanders continues to be a bell cow back. The more that he gives you and the more yards that he gives Jalen Hurts the ability to do what he did last night, Eagles are going to be a tough out in the National Football League, especially in the NFC side. Nick Sirianni, got to hand it to Nick. They handled the moment. They handled the pressure. They had come to Jesus conversations because they know they didn't play that hot against the Lions. And they put up a whale of a performance, a 24-7 victory over the Vikings. All in all, great night. Take a look at the statistics here, too, in the game, and they probably tell you the story. 7 of 13 for the Eagles on third down. Held the Vikings to 4-12. Here is a hidden statistic. Here is a hidden number that many people don't look at. Guys, look at what the Eagle defense did to the Vikings offense. They only ran 59 plays. They held them to 59 plays in that game last night. That's complete domination. The Eagles ran 68. They had like another 2 or 3 series more, and time of possession, they owned it. That's spectacular. That's spectacular. Holding a team, when you hold a team to under 60 plays, you're getting it done, man. Total yards, 486. Held the Vikings to 264. These numbers on what the defense did to the Vikings is tremendous. 323 yards passing. Spectacular. Held Cousins to 202. With that firepower, Cousins and the coaching staff are clearly having a conversation today. Rushing 163 to 62. Defense again. The defense held an NFL passing offense with Justin Jefferson on it to under 210 yards in the air, and you held a team with Dalvin Cook, a 3-time Pro Bowler, a 1,500-yard back. You held that thing to 62 yards. It's getting it done. Vikings with 3 turnovers. That turnover by Jalen, that tip pass thing, not a factor. Time of possession, 36-14 to 23-46. Unbelievably great. Unbelievably great. Slay slayed the day. He did. Darius Slay slayed the day. Some of the personal numbers in the game. Hurts 26 to 31, 333 yards passing, 108.7 quarterback rating. Tremendous. Cousins 27 of 46, 221, 51. Miles Sanders. Last week it was 90 yards. This week it's 80 yards. 17 carries, 80 yards. Tremendous. Devontae, 7 catches, 80 yards. Goddard, 5 catches, 82 yards. AJ, 5 catches, 69. He spread it around. It's the most complete game that Jalen Hurts has played in his professional career. There's no getting around it. And that's a great moment for him in his brief career so far. He's on hold too. Okay? We still got 14 or 15 more games to go here before we start crowning anybody king of the day. Okay? Omar says, stop ducking the crow. What are you talking ducking the crow? I told you he played great. I'm not there with this guy being the future of the team yet. I'm sorry. One game doesn't make a career. One game doesn't make a season. Let's wait a minute. So you think do people actually think here that the Eagles have made their decision that Jalen Hurts is the future of the team based off the Viking game? Nobody makes a decision of $240 million off one game. Nobody. Or you're the 49ers. Nobody in their right mind would say that. Okay? Hey, Savvy, Eagle fans have the Super Bowl won already. 5-star. What do you mean, come on? It's week 2. There's no crow here. Only thing I got was the score wrong and the outcome. I haven't gotten this season wrong. I haven't gotten this quarterback's future wrong. Nobody knows what this is going to be yet. Again, like I said, don't make it sound like I'm diminishing what he did last night. It was tremendous. I'm telling you what I saw last night. He was great. Now, someone would ask me, Sills, would you give him $240 million at the end of the year? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not there yet. I want to see what the result's going to be. But it's a heck of a start to the season. And like I said to you, I thought he played well. If you look between the numbers in the Detroit game, make no mistake about it. Don't forget, like I said, at the bottom of the hour, we are going to talk with Merrill Reese. Merrill went into Troy Aikman. By the way, I got a great text from Troy Aikman last night. He goes like this to me. Hey, Merrill just came into the booth. And get this. Merrill came into the booth, and I'm going to ask Merrill when he joins us here. He came into the booth and said, that's the best first half of quarterbacking I've ever seen an Eagle quarterback play. That's quite a statement. That's quite a statement. And I thought it was too. He was so great last night. So great last night. Again, though, the guy in the earlier game was spectacular also. Josh Allen. That's the best team in the league right there. Sills, no one wants to pay till they do. Well, we'll see. Are you still starting 2-4? Kyle, I have to hold to that. 2-4 wrong again? How can you say that after week 2? You don't know that yet. Let's see what they do against Washington in a short work week. Okay? Let's see what they do against Dougie, the Cards, and the Cowboys, which you've been murdered by ever since Jalen Hurts has been a starting quarterback. Let's just wait and see there. It's great to have all this great feeling, and you should. After a performance like that, I do not want anyone to think that I did not think that that was spectacular last night. That was spectacular. Okay? That's as good as it gets last night. Okay, I will give you this, though. Sills won't admit when he's wrong. He made a lot of predictions last night. I was wrong last night. Thank you, JM. I was wrong last night. You're right. I'm not wrong about the season yet. And you're not right either. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Admittedly, Cousins sucks. Well, at least on Monday night he does. He's 2-10. I've never seen anything like it. He was absolutely god-awful last night. Okay? Jeff, no, you're supposed to be excited. Let me ask you this. And I'm going to relent on something here, and I can't believe what I'm about to say. And I'm going to give this to you guys. Hurts so far, David, has proven doubters wrong. But again, let's see the finish line before you start crowing. Okay? I'm going to give you this. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC East. Why is that significant? Why is that significant? Because the guy he's better than makes $42 million a year. It's significant. That's a big statement from me. That's a $42 million comment I just made. $42 million. You're better than Dak Prescott? The Cowboys know this. They may not believe it yet, but the Cowboys are getting into a position right now where they're watching Jalen Hurts and they're doing this. Is that guy in Philly better than Dak? There's a big decision in both places. I'm watching that game last night, guys, and I'm going to tell you this. If I'm the Cowboys, like Michael Irvin said on our program a couple weeks ago, that's concerning to watch Hurts do what he did last night, and you watch Dak shit the bed the way he has. I'm going to say this to you, man. He's the best quarterback in the NFC East. Now, what that means on both sides, Eagles going to pay him $45 million at the end of the year? Market value? Cowboys, you got to be looking at Dak going like this. Jesus criminy, the guy in Philly's better. The guy in Philly's better, and he's making 1 point. Listen to this. The guy in Philly's making $1.4 million. The guy in Dallas is making $42 million. Just saying, man. He's outplaying him. And Jalen Hurts has gotten better. There is no doubt about it. He's gotten better. I believe he's the best quarterback in the NFC East. And I thought Dak was for the longest time until I watched that performance last night. Got to tell you, man. By the way, don't forget Merrill Reese at the bottom of the hour. Gary Cobb, Fox 29, will be in hour number 2. Hurts hasn't beaten anyone. Bobby, that's not true. That was a hot team coming into Lincoln Financial. No way. And what will I say? And by the way, I think that Lions team could be a sleeper. They're not going to be an easy team to face each and every single week. That's not an easy team to play. They're the highest scoring team in the NFC, 35.5 points in the first 2 weeks. The Lions. Zach, I'm believing that Hurts is better than Dak. I'm believing it. I'm relenting to it. I did not believe that. It's on tape now. Teams have to adjust or Hurts is passing now. Joe, didn't it seem that he could do anything at will last night, whatever he wanted to do? Okay? Lions don't even have Williams yet. I know. Wait till they get Jameson Williams. Whew. Hurts is better than a lot of quarterbacks in the league. No, Steven, I think Hurts is different than a lot of quarterbacks. I think the Eagles may have the most unique offense in the league. Hurts is not better than Lamar Jackson. Stop that. God, you guys, man, one game, man. This guy's the best quarterback in the league, but by far not that guy. However, he's almost in a position where you know how you play against Patrick Mahomes and you play against you know what you guys have? I want you to stop doing something. Stop comparing him. He's not comparable. Jalen Hurts is not comparable to anybody in the league right now. That's a good thing. They're leaning into who Hurts is. Patrick Mahomes, there's only one of him. There's only one of Tom Brady. There's only one Aaron Rodgers. You don't have a 2.0 guy. You have a guy, which is a great thing. That's what franchise quarterbacks are. They have their own signature, their own way of winning games. They're leaning into that. He's not comparable. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Joe Burrow. He's not any of those guys. But I'll tell you what he did last night, I don't think there's a lot of guys in the league, maybe nobody in the league, that could do what he did last night. That's unique. It's a unique offense. You know, like I said, preparing for the Eagles every week, you're not seeing that type of offense. You're just not. And what they have put together, and I'm gonna lean into here. I'm gonna lean into one guy. And I got to tell you something. We got to start giving kudos here too. Okay? No. GT, I told you. I think he did win that game, lad. Without him, they don't win that ball game. He's one of the most unique players I've seen. And when you see a guy that you haven't seen or you don't defense every week, it's almost like in college football when you play Air Force or Georgia Tech. Or back in the day when Oklahoma ran the wishbone and they ran that bone at you. A lot of teams, man, you never saw that. You never defend it. You never practice against it. Practicing against a guy like Jalen Hurts, you don't do it. You most of the time are defending drop back guys. He's not, in my opinion, he's not like anybody else in the league. That's a great thing. Patrick Mahomes is not like anybody else in the league. Lamar Jackson's not like anybody else in the league. He's got his own signature in how he's going to win ball games. And like I said, this coaching staff is leaning into it. And the players are leaning into it. Okay? It was his best game as a pro. And if he plays, and I was telling Xander this, he plays like that and continues to play like that, he will be in the MVP conversation. I'll get to Gannon here in a minute, okay? I'll get to Gannon in a moment, okay? Tremendous performance last night. Kudos to you. Kudos. I've been wrong before. 2 great weeks of football for Jalen Hurts. 2 great weekends. Now he's got the Wentz Bowl this weekend. We'll see how that plays out. But 2 great starts. Okay? 2 great starts. And I have to give him his justice here. As for Jonathan Gannon, I don't know so much. And guys, follow me here. Okay? Sing Sills, you guys, maybe in hour number 2. The Eagle Fight song, I actually know it. Okay, maybe hour number 2, because I said that because I'm talking sports in Philly. I'm a newbie. I think maybe I have to take a lash. And every time I make a shitty prediction, maybe I do have to sing the Eagle Fight song. So Big Sills may have to do that. Okay, fair enough. Guys, I don't know so much if it was in his game last night, because what's Hassan Reddick doing covering back still? Come on, guy. Come on. Backs. I still think he's out of position. And had a position. I think the other guys will know. I think Fletcher, I think Hardgrave, I think all those guys played well. But I don't really know. Slay was out of his tree last night. He was spectacular. Spectacular last night. And by the way, if you're the Detroit Lions, man, you got to look at Matt Patricia and go, what do? You gave that team a lockdown corner like that when you were struggling to find defensive players, and you let that guy walk out the freaking building? Matt Patricia should be arrested for allowing that to happen. You let that guy walk out the building, and you moved him to the Eagles for what reason? What a dumbass move. Unbelievable. Dude, he was, how about this? As good as Jalen played, Darius Slay was just as good as Jalen last night. That was as good as it gets, man. See, to me, the hardest position to play in the NFL is cover corner. And he did a remarkable job last night. That guy was special last night. Don't forget, please hit the like button. Merrill Reese is going to join us in a couple seconds here. So we're going to get his thoughts, okay? Okay? So I really don't know if Gannon has righted the ship or the players have righted the ship. You feel me? He was great last night. What did he hold Jefferson to last night? 6 for 48. Jesus criminy. This guy is a catch and yards machine. This guy's a machine. And they shut his ass down last night. It just wasn't close. It wasn't close at all. 48 stupid yards meant nothing. The whole thing, I agree with Xander. They were terrible last night, man. They should have been at Slay. Jefferson was just nowhere. Hey, Shane Steichen called a great game last night. Shane Steichen called a spectacular game. Everything that to the strength of Hurts. By the way, that pass down the middle of the field to Quez, on target, everything was just absolutely perfect last night. Kudos, man. That's how you shut people like me up. Kudos to you, man. I mean, and by the way, was it my imagination or was the defensive coordinator on the Vikings, did he find an old defensive game plan for the Eagles and play 10 yards off the ball and allow guys like AJ and those guys to get off the line of scrimmage? What were you thinking? I mean, I couldn't believe they made no adjustments. You know what happened? The Vikings didn't believe Jalen was going to put a performance like that up. I think they got caught with their pants down. I think Jalen and the Eagle offense shocked them on how proficient they were and how precise they were. They made no adjustments. I think they thought that was just going to be in the second half, and it was going to be Jalen going back to Jalen and one read Jalen, and that's not what happened. Even Aikman noticed that last night. Okay? Hey, identity. I will tell you, man, when the kid plays well and I'm wrong, it's not flip-flopping, my friend. It's called being wrong. People are wrong with things. That was a great performance. Great performance. Okay? Oh, I absolutely thought the Vikings would put a 50 burger on them. I absolutely did. Nothing led me to believe in 19 ball games from the defensive coordinator was going to make me think otherwise. Last night was also Jonathan Gannon's best game as a Philadelphia Eagle defensive coordinator. So before everyone starts jumping through hoops, the greatest game that Jalen ever played was last night. The greatest defensive coordinated game by Jonathan Gannon was last night. Let that not be the moment. Okay? It was a wonderful night last night. And so I get a text message from my former teammate, Troy Aikman. He goes like this to me. Hey, Merrill Reese just stuck his head in and said that's the best half of football he's ever seen a quarterback in Philadelphia play. And he texts me and I go, I got to get Merrill on today. So we bring Merrill Reese on now with us here. Merrill, I got the text from Troy Aikman last night when he was calling the game, and he goes, you stuck your head into the booth and you go, that's the best first half of football I've seen a quarterback in a long time in Philadelphia have. I mean, really a special night last night for Jalen and the team.
It was, Dan. It was an amazing night. Now, I have to say to you that there are games that are historical in nature. There's no way you can't compare last night to the Super Bowl where Nick Foles was the MVP of the Super Bowl. But just purely the performance of Jalen Hurts last night, it was remarkable. Remarkable. It was one of the best quarterback performances I have seen by an Eagles quarterback in my 46 years. It was that good. I mean,
his confidence, Merrill, in the pocket, his reading, everything. And what I also loved, Merrill, was that the first pass that he got, he wanted to make sure that Devontae knew that he was going to be part of this game and part of this attack. I thought that's the best I've seen him play. Do you agree? That's his best career game so far as an Eagle.
That would be the best career game for a lot of quarterbacks.
Yes.
You can you how many quarterbacks have completed 83% of their passes, thrown for over 300 yards, had a 53-yard bomb for a touchdown, ran for 2 touchdowns, including one on a 26-yard fake out where half the stadium and all of the and all of the defenders were going in the wrong direction. I mean, his ball handling is magical. He did everything right, and even the one interception was really off the hands of Kenneth Gainwell. It wasn't his fault. In fact, I think statistically, interceptions it shouldn't be an interception statistically if it goes off of a receiver's hands.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Those are tips, and they should be a category for tips. How about the game plan too, Merrill, that Shane Steichen called? I mean, it really looks like after that 2-5 start from last year, that he and Jalen now are growing together as coordinator and quarterback. I don't think the coordinator on that side of the ball gets talked about enough in a good light. he's done a really nice job at bringing him along and that offense.
He does. And don't forget, Nick is very involved too. Nick Sirianni is at every quarterback meeting. He sits in on every quarterback meeting. So it's a combination of Nick and Shane and Jalen. And Jalen tells them, they'll ask Jalen, what are you comfortable with? What do you feel? Is there something you really feel good about this week going into this game? And they'll work the whole thing out. And they'll work out fourth downs. If we're going to gamble on fourth down, what are we going to go with? So if that situation comes up during a game, they don't suddenly on the sideline say, oh, what do we do here? It's pre-planned.
Absolutely.
But you know,
defense too.
I am so tired, Dan, of reading in the newspaper and columns and stories and opinions about Jalen Hurts, quote, modest arm talent, or the fact that he does not have a particularly strong NFL arm. There is not a pass that he can't throw. As a matter of fact, I've also read that he does not throw well moving to his left. He threw a ball, he ran to his left, and on the run, he let one go for Quez Watkins down the sideline. That was a laser. It was complete, but it was called back on a holding penalty. There's not a pass that he can't throw. He's got very, very solid arm talent.
I thought, Merrill, one of the passes that Goddard didn't catch when he dropped that dime in there and he put that thing in the box, and Goddard, because there were three guys around him, that was one of that showed me touch. Yes. You know how many times Elway had to develop touch early in his career because he threw everything through a brick wall. Right. But to see a guy throw a 50-yard laser down the field and then a touch pass like that, you're seeing the evolution. And I made this point too about him. Stop comparing him to anybody else in the league. Patrick Mahomes is not comparable. Josh Allen is not comparable. You have a one of. And the Eagle offense and organization, I think, are leaning into that now. Do you agree?
I do. I mean, how could they not after watching what we watched last night? And you know what he showed? Week number 1, he won the game with his legs. Against Detroit, he had to run, and he ran. Boy, did he run. And against the Vikings last night, he won the game with his arm. So he can beat you. Pick your poison. You take away the run, he'll beat you with his arm. You take away the passing game, he'll run for 90 yards. There's nothing he can't do. He's that good.
Very impressive, Merrill. I mean, it was really spectacular. I'll tell you the second best guy on the field, that was Darius Slay. The job that he did on Justin Jefferson, Jefferson wanted to have a big night. Eagles passed on him in the draft, the whole 9 yards. What a performance by Darius Slay last night. I mean, People talk about Jalen Ramsey being the best cover corner. That's as good a performance you can get from a cover corner. Yeah,
we call him Big Play Slay. And he almost had a couple of more other picks in that game, too. And Avonte Maddox made one. You know who I also have to call out if you watch this game? He's not one of the big names on this team, and this team has a lot of big names. But T.J. Edwards, who was an undrafted free agent 4 years ago from Wisconsin, he was all over the field. He made tackles. He broke up passes. He covered Dalvin Cook with like a blanket. He was outstanding. Number 57.
Oh, absolutely. I watched him all night last night. It really almost, I would say this to you too. Would you agree, Merrill, that ever since they put him in the starting lineup last year, it's changed the complexion of that entire unit, that defense, and also the linebacking group?
Yeah. And Kaiser White is added to that too.
Well, he was just really great. I'll tell you who's I thought played well last night, and he has times where sometimes he goes away. I thought Fletcher played well last night. Look what they did last night to Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's a 1,500-yard back, and they held him to 62 yards rushing, the whole unit to 62 yards rushing. I thought they put that was a great effort last night against a good running team.
And you know what? The guy who gets so much criticism on the talk shows, and you hear it every time the Eagles defense is beaten for a bunch of points, is Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator. He put together a brilliant game plan. That defense, the way they, as you said, the way they covered Justin Jefferson, and when they implemented the blitz, it was well timed. I mean, to give up 7 points to the Vikings, that's it, 7 points. And now I do have to say that the Vikings dropped a gift. I mean, Kirk Cousins threw a absolutely perfect pass downfield to Irv Smith, who was behind the defense, and all he had to do was catch it and walk 15 yards for a touchdown, and he dropped the ball. So they got a break there. But listen, there were all kinds of crazy things happening. I mean, Aaron Sippis, the punter, made a tackle on a blocked punt. Went 50 yards down.
How does he catch Patterson? I mean, I think that shows you how that kid Peterson doesn't have the step that he used to have when he was younger, because the punter caught him.
Aaron Sippis is an Australian. I didn't even know he knew how to tackle.
2 last questions for you, Merrill. You know, I'll tell you another guy that I'm really impressed with in the first 2 weeks is Miles Sanders, 90 against the Lions, 80 yards. And when you get 80 yards from him, that takes so much more heat off of Jalen. Play action's open. You're able to do more things back there in the pocket. It looks like he's running with a purpose. I know he's auditioning in case something goes sideways at the end of the year, but it's been a nice start to the season for him as well.
Oh, he's good. He's good. He's another one of those Penn State backs who followed. He sat behind Saquon Barkley for a couple of years, and then he took over, and he's really good. By the way, Penn State has another one that I saw last week. Nicholas Singleton, his name is. Have you seen him?
I have. The D coordinator, Manny Diaz, told me about him the other day. He used to be the head coach at the University of Miami. He's now the defensive coordinator. He goes, Sills, watch this kid.
Yeah, he coached my alma mater, Temple, for 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I know. Then we stole him away from you guys, and we had to give Temple $5 million. I remember that. Yeah, Manny's doing a great job. Joey Porter Jr. and those guys at Penn State, they're doing a nice job there.
Just threw that in about Miles and the Penn State backs.
Very good. Okay. This team better than that 2017 team?
Yes. Well, let me just say this. Now,
no. You got to cross the finish line. I got it.
Okay. We have seen this team play a great game last night. We saw a team a week ago play a great offensive game. This team, on paper, they're better. Don't forget that 2017 was playing with guys who came out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost Jordan Hicks, who, by the way, was back last night and had the one interception, but they lost him for the season early. They lost Jason Peters, their left tackle, for the season early. They lost their best special teamer, Caleb Sturgis was the kicker. They lost Chris Maragos, their best special teamer, for the season early. I mean, they lost so many people and then ultimately they lost the very good Carson Wentz, who at that point when he went down against the Rams was probably the MVP of the league. So they lost all of those people in 2017. Now, if you look at this team and say you can't say right now, we saw it last night, but it would be a stretch to say that Jalen Hurts developmentally is where Carson Wentz was when he went down in that season against the Rams. Carson Wentz right there was the top quarterback in football that season. So that team had a lot on its resume, but this team has more talent. This is a more complete team from a talent standpoint. I really believe that. But that doesn't mean they'll win the Super Bowl. That doesn't mean they'll win the Super Bowl. There are a lot of things that could go on, and I like to say that the NFL is a war of attrition. Every week, somebody goes down. Could be a quarterback, could be a middle linebacker, could be a corner, a shutdown corner. You don't know. The NFL, you cross your fingers and hope that your key pieces stay healthy, because I've always believed that a team that could go 12-5, if they have the wrong three people injured at the wrong point of the season, could just as easily be 8-9.
Absolutely. Finally, it's Commander Wentz week. What kind of emotions do you think? I mean, Carson Wentz playing against the Eagles. I know it's there at that one of your favorite places on the planet, FedEx Field.
The dump. The dump. The dump.
I mean, what do you think this week is going to mean in Philly?
I tell you, Dan, it's a very, very dangerous week for this team, because they are coming off the highest of highs and going up against an inferior opponent and a
divisional opponent.
And a divisional opponent, but it's a road game after a home Monday night win. And I think, the gamblers will find statistics to tell you that's pretty dangerous. But the fact of the matter is they can't go in there any less intense than they were last night against Minnesota. I want to tell you something. I'll tell you what played a part in this team winning the game last night. Losing the coin toss. Because every team today wins the coin toss and defers. This team lost the coin toss, and of course, Minnesota deferred, and the Eagles got the ball first, and they marched all the way down with a great drive and scored a touchdown. That set the tone of that game. That set the tone. I think more teams should just throw analytics to the wind. Remember, they all used to say, "We want the ball," and they'd start out with a rush on offense. Now everybody defers if they win the coin toss. I honestly think, it might have come out the same way, but it's just my feeling the way when they lost the coin toss and Minnesota says, "We defer." I was happy. I thought they wanted the ball, and I thought they had to show and establish something right there, and that's what they did.
Yeah, well, Merrill, when you got an O-line like you guys do, I mean, I might want the ball too.
Yeah, they're awfully good. But for a while, they got 4 penalties for illegal receiver down, ineligible receiver down.
You know what, though, Merrill? That is that RPO kind of thing. It's such a tough thing to block because you really don't know where the quarterback is because it's a read option.
Hmm.
I think that's a timing thing between the quarterback and the lineman because they don't really get a chance to see it.
Yeah,
I think they'll figure that out as they play more with Jalen in that system like that. That's a hard block for any old lineman to block.
It is. But Jalen's special. He really is, Dan.
He was special last night for sure. Merrill, thank you, man. It's going to be interesting. Commander Wentz week. Washington.
Commander Wentz. Well, listen, they have a win under their belt. They've won a game.
You know what, though, too? And I threw these stats out, too. 650 yards in the first 2 games for Wentz. He's at 65% completion percentage. He's thrown 7 touchdowns and 3 picks. He's got a 101.1 quarterback rating. I don't know. If I'm Washington, he's probably the best quarterback, and dare I say, since Kirk Cousins was in there throwing the ball. But I don't know. I think they have to be somewhat pleased that he's there. He was 21 of 29 in the second half against a pretty good Detroit team that we now look at as being pretty decent.
They are pretty good. Carson Wentz never lacked talent. Here's my theory on that, and I like Carson Wentz. He's a good person, and he's a marvelous athlete. But when he was hurt in 2017, he didn't just have a torn ACL. He had a torn ACL, a torn MCL, and structural damage to his knee. He came back the following year, and he wasn't the same player athletically, where he could extend plays and take off when he wanted to take off. And he never adjusted. He never adjusted to not being the same running the football movement-wise. And then he also that year had some sort of a fracture in his spine. And he took coaching tough. He and Doug just never got on the same page. And I think the world of Ron Rivera. If Carson Wentz listens, and if Carson Wentz reinvents himself to take advantage of his sizable talent, he'll be a fine quarterback. And I don't talk about Carson Wentz with anything other than glowing terms, but he just has to do what is best. We've seen that happen to quarterbacks all the time.
Oh yeah.
Donovan McNabb started out as a running quarterback, but during his best years, he was more of a pocket passer. We've seen that. And but Carson Wentz has tons of talent. It doesn't surprise me that he's putting up the numbers that he's putting up.
Real quick, your boy Doug won last week, 24-0. He's now 1-0 down in Jacksonville. And you said about Trevor Lawrence, 25-30, 250 some odd yards last week. Guy looked really good last week. I mean, they're pretty decent on defense.
You know what? That is what they call a marriage made in heaven. Doug Peterson, great coach. Trevor Lawrence, great talent. Doug Peterson's going to make him one of the best quarterbacks in football. And Doug Peterson has a chance to be the coach of the year. He could be the coach of the year this year.
I agree with you 100%. Merrill, thank you, man. That was tremendous. Have a great call this week and go get him and fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Merrill.
See you, Dan.
You got it. That was damn good, man. Wow. And I love when Merrill goes like this. I hate FedEx. One of my favorites. Hey, hit the like button. Do me a favor. Don't forget, Gary Cobb's joining us. Hour 2, 4:30 Eastern time. Also, our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free unless you get paid, they don't get paid, okay? That's not how this thing works here. If you're not getting financially compensated, Morgan & Morgan doesn't get compensated either. They're there with you in this. When it comes to a situation, if you've ever been hurt or injured on the job, this is exactly what Morgan & Morgan's there for. Over 800 attorneys and offices in Philadelphia, New York, and in Florida. The biggest law firm in the country is ready to do battle for you. There's no such thing as a fender bender when you talk Morgan & Morgan. So call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation's free. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor, tell them Big Sil sent you.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
The greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Action News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community. A sports roundup for the locals. And the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
Go passionately. Go fearlessly. Go confidently.
Go Birds!
Go confidently towards your goals with First Trust, Philly's hometown bank for nearly 90 years, and the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. We're focused on getting you over the goal line. So go with conviction, go with trust,
Go Birds!
and go forward with us by your side. First Trust Bank, the official bank of Philadelphia Dreams. Oh, and go Birds.
Welcome to Pond Lehocky. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lehocky a call.
National Football Show, hit the like button. Okay. Please hit the like button here. You'll get this every time Big Sills is wrong. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a TD, 1, 2, 3. Hit them low, hit them high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. There. Debt paid. Debt paid. Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it, because I don't like to be wrong. Okay? Xander goes, I got to post that bitch. Great. There'll be more dislikes on that than likes. Jesus criminy, man. All right. Okay. Here's something now that I also have to do. God. Okay. Howie Roseman. Dude. How many, not once a week, how many people, when Jalen Hurts was drafted in the second round, thought that was a shitty pick? I've been honest with you today. Why don't you try being honest with me? Okay? Why don't you tell me and be honest with yourselves? How many people thought that was a good pick when they first put that guy in there and had him on the second round? I thought it was a shitty pick. Philly D hated it. Me. Okay? Giving you a B-. I'll take it, Danny. I did. Honestly, I was pissed. About 90%. I did. I admit it. I was angry. I thought it was bad. It was. Love it, Dan. Thank you, Joseph. Dude, it was. It's not now. However, watch this. You put Jalen Hurts on the open market, he's a top 10 quarterback. You put him like, if you had to draft him again, he's a top 10. Just like if you had to redraft Lamar, he's top 10. Okay? I mean, dude, this guy found a quarterback in the second round that was a first rounder. And now there's conversation that, do you know there's only 2 guys ahead of him in the conversation for the most valuable player award? Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Jalen's third with all the bookies. Guys in Atlantic City and guys in Vegas have him third right now going into week number 3. Has the best shot to win the most valuable player award. Okay? Only 10% of the fans like the pick. How he gets, dude, this, hey, watch this. Jalen Reagor sucks. this pick covers that because you found a quarterback that just might be a franchise QB in the second round. Let's do this. How many second-round quarterbacks are currently starting right now in the NFL that you think is a franchise? Hey, I told you, I think Jalen is the best quarterback in the NFC East. I think he's better than Dak. And if you think Dak's a franchise quarterback, then you got to think that Jalen is. Okay? Give me a guy that's who's not drafted in the first round playing in the NFL today. Can you guys give me one guy? Brady, okay, the GOAT of all guys. Brady. Who else? Winston's a first-round pick. Zach Wilson's a first-round pick. Aaron Rodgers is a first-round pick. I think Cousins was a fourth-round pick with the Washington Commanders. Wilson was a third-round pick. Derek Carr was a second-round pick. Okay? Yeah, but I'm talking franchise guys. I don't know if people look at Derek, they look at Carr and call him a franchise. I would say still Russell Wilson. He's a third-rounder. My point is there's not many of these guys that are out there playing in the National Football League that are second-round, third-round, or fourth-round guys. Most of them are first-round players. Howie wasn't drafting him to take Carson Wentz's job. Howie drafted Jalen Hurts as a seatbelt in case something goes sideways with Wentz. He wasn't looking to replace him with him. That's not what he was drafted for. This guy's turning out maybe he might just be that guy. He might be that dude. Okay? Jalen is going to be great. He's smart, strong, fast enough. Well, again, Wordsmith, he's now on hole number 2. He's got hole number 3 this weekend. Let's see if he can get around an 18-hole golf course here, and let's see if he can get it done. Because if he can get it done, he's got a bag of gold at the end of the day. Okay? Carson gave him the job? No, I don't think Carson gave him any job. Okay? Carson lost his job. And if you want to call it that, okay, semantics, sure. Joe Montana was a third-rounder. I'm not going in history. Hey, I know, right, Stephen? Watch Wentz. Well, Wentz has been averaging 325 yards a game. His first 2 games, he's had 650 yards, 325, and he's got 7 touchdowns to 3 picks, 65 to 66 completion percentage. He's not playing bad. That old line's terrible. Remember I told you this too, man. I told you the weakest part of that football team on offense last night was guard center. I think the Eagles took a massive advantage of that last night. Seals, who you got coming out the NFC? Zach, well, I've been saying it for 5 months, the Eagles. I don't know. Did somebody miss something? Zach, I told you. Xander, what, 5 months ago? I got the Eagles going to the NFC Championship game and repping the NFC. Nothing's changed. See, you guys are sitting here telling me about eating crow when I've got your team in the NFC Championship game. And I've done it for 5 months. Listen to any show. Xander will tell you. Any show you want. I've said that. Okay? 85, he was great last night. He was absolutely great last night. Bills will kill us, though. Let's see what the Bills look like at the end of the year. Remember, the war of attrition, just like Merrill said, we'll see how these teams look at the end of the year. Don't forget, Fox 29's Gary Cobb will be with us also at 4:30. We'll get his thoughts. He was on for a pregame. We'll get him on and get his thoughts on what he saw last night. He was at the game last night, too. That's true. You said it since June, July. Thank you very much. Sills, when was Jimmy G? I think Garoppolo's a second rounder. Okay. GT goes, do you remember the bet? I do. Wait a minute. The bet on Hurts. Yes, some of you get to come on and go crazy on me. Joseph Sills, don't act like you didn't say this is the wrong quarterback for the talent. I did say that. Joseph, congratulations. You won the Super Bowl last night. Go get him, Joseph. Go get him. Oh, my God. Xander's making a short YouTube of me doing Fly, Eagle, Fly. I got to take a break. God dang it. Hour 2's coming up. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
The greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Action News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community. A sports roundup for the locals. And the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
Go passionately. Go fearlessly. Go confidently.
Go Birds!
Go confidently towards your goals with First Trust, Philly's hometown bank for nearly 90 years, and the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. We're focused on getting you over the goal line. So go with conviction, go with trust,
Go Birds!
and go forward with us by your side. First Trust Bank, the official bank of Philadelphia dreams. Oh, and go Birds.
Welcome to Pondley Hockey. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pondley Hockey a call.
Okay, there's the new YouTube video up. Xander just put this bad puppy together, Big Sills, singing the Eagle fight song. Who would have thought? Jerome, what's going on here? Jerome, come on, man. Oh, man. Hey, and let me guess, it's posted too also to JAKIB Media too. Oh, man. All right. Please hit the like button. Jesus criminy. Hey, Xander, is there a way we can play that here? Don't forget Gary Cobb, bottom of the hour. Hey. Just Mike. Jerome is laughing his ass. You bet your ass right now. Jerome Brown is laughing his ass off right now. Absolutely, man. He's laughing, man. Welcome to Philly, Dan. Alexander, thank you. Was a little off note, but not bad. Go Birds. Oh, my God. Please hit the like button. Okay. Can I do this to you? Jalen Hurts, MVP. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Really? MVP? Really? Come on, man. Okay, wait. MVP. Dude, he's not looked better than Patrick Mahomes. Has he? Remember what I said? It's different. Let me take a look at that. I may have to walk back on that. Who's playing the best right now? Well, Mahomes and Allen and Hurts. I don't think Brady's in that conversation. Right? I don't think Brady's in that conversation. Give me another quarterback that's playing well. I got Mahomes, Allen, Jalen Hurts. Who else? Russell Wilson's not. Matthew Stafford's not really. Kyler Murray, he was terrible in week 1 against Mahomes. Tua. 469 will do that, right? Lamar. Okay, I think these are your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys right now. Here's your 5 guys. Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Tua, and Lamar Jackson. You could say Wentz. No. He's got his numbers are decent. Wilson is not. Russell Wilson looks terrible. Okay. Savvy goes, you act like a Philly quarterback. You act like Philly has never seen a quarterback throw for 300 yards. No, you mean 4,000 yards. There's only been one. Don't act like you've had quarterbacks throw for 300 yards every week. You haven't. You've never had that in your history. So before you open your hole, Savvy, do a little history look. It's not like you throw for 300 yards all the time. Okay? And you don't have that guy. You make it sound like, hey, well, you make it, we've thrown for 300 yards. You don't throw for 300 yards every week. McNabb never had a 4,000-yard passing game or year in his career. Okay? You've had one, and you're playing the guy this weekend. His numbers are legit, aren't they? Carson Wentz's. 325. Hey, I'll tell you this. You'd find it very hard. I wonder how many positions he is behind Mahomes and Allen. I'll bet you Carson Wentz is third in passing yards per game. I'd like to know what that number is because he's at 325. Okay? He's at 325 yards. This guy's thrown for 650 yards in 2 games so far. He's got numbers. Wentz has numbers. Seals, you think Wentz is looking forward to this game? Jesse, Wentz is such a Fruit Loop that I don't know what Carson Wentz is thinking. If there was one thing that somebody ever asked me, and one of them was, what do you think Carson Wentz is thinking? Seriously, it'd be like a box of Lucky Charms. You know those mushrooms or those marshmallows you get in there? You don't know which ones you're going to get out. Some people like the green ones, and he's a marshmallow. I mean, honestly, I don't know. He's got talent. 4,000 yards, Hurts jersey on the wall. Never happened. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right. Yeah, don't be disappointed when he comes in at 3,700, like I said. That's all right, though. It's okay. He's going to win games. I told you that. Wentz is going to go into the fetal position this game. What if he beats you? What if he beats your boy and the Eagles? Oh, no. Holy jeez. Say it ain't true. Let's rank these. Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Tua, and Lamar. MVP. Unbelievable he's in this list. And I actually had to put him there. I actually had to put him here. Okay? Wentz is a turd in Washington. Hey. Commander Wentz week, baby. I'm going to rank them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've got right now, after week 2, MVP race. Josh Allen 1. Patrick Mahomes 2. Jalen Hurts 3. Lamar Jackson 4. And 2 of 5. Herbert's probably outside the top 5. You could probably put him 6th. Is that fair? Right? God, Jalen Hurts is on the podium, though. Dude, that's massive. Hey, listen, let's do this. Let's be cool with one thing here. He's really worked his ass off, man. And I respect what he's doing. I really respect what he's doing. Hey, man, he's worked hard to get into this position. You can't deny this. I won't deny it. He's really worked hard. Bro, you go from that playoff game to what you did last night. Now, look, the Bucs defense is superior to the Vikings, but I built up the Vikings, and I'm not going to come here the next day and shit on the Vikings just because I want to make my take good. I don't do that. I still think the Vikings are a good football team. Actually, I think Detroit's a good football. Actually, I think the Eagles have beat 2 good football teams out of the gate here. Beat a good Viking. Hey, you know who the top scoring team is in the NFC? The Lions. They're averaging 35.5 points a game in the NFC. That's number 1. Top yards per game in the NFL is the Eagles. So those 2 teams, man, they're pretty good football teams. Okay? I mean, I don't sit here and do that because you know how hosts do. It's only the Vikings. That's not what I built them up, and I'm not going to turn around and go, well, it's only the. I don't give a shit, Kirk Cousins, man. Dude, everything that you guys said about Kirk Cousins came to fruition last night. He's now 2-10 on Monday night. Somebody said something about I thought a stupid stat. Well, guess what? It panned out last night. He was terrible. Dude, yeah, well, Hurts is top 5. I got him in 3. Are you kidding me? 3, I have him. I got Allen, Mahomes, unless you guys think there's somebody else playing better ball than these guys. Would you guys add anybody else into this? I got Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Tua, and Lamar Jackson. I'm trying to think if there's any. I don't think Mac Jones is playing all that hot. Ryan Tannehill might get benched. The kid in Chicago's not doing shit. Garoppolo just got to start again. I don't think Stafford's playing well. Dude, they played great on defense. They really did. They played great on defense. They did. They played great on oh, and by the way, hey, ESPN, do me a favor. Stop with those staggered games. They're dumb and I hate them. Don't ruin my football night by going and cutting away to the Josh Allen football game last night. I didn't give a shit. If Hurts keeps ascending and taking a hometown discount, why would he take the hometown discount? Hey, Xander, can you put that up there for me too? I appreciate that, Flex. That was really good of you to do that for me. Thank you, brother. If Hurts keeps ascending and taking the hometown discounts, keeps the core together, how he work his magic and trade up for Will Anderson. Dude, Will Anderson on that football team, then you'd have a legitimate pass rusher. Thank you, Flex. Now you're talking about, oh my God, just seeing the video. You murdered the fight song. I'd rather lose next week than oh my God. Oh man. Hold on here, man. Come on, man. I told you I'd sing it if you guys won last night. I made the bet. I have to do it, man. I just saw the song. I guarantee you it's pinned too. Good night. Hurts at this rate will be off. Oh, at this rate, I'm nowhere near $50 million for Jalen Hurts right now. I am nowhere near that. I am nowhere near $230 million. I'm nowhere near Kyler Murray money. Nowhere near that. Nowhere. That's the best game the kid's ever played. You want to give him money after one game? Hey, Forrest, Carson Wentz. Shit, that guy had 13 great games. All of a sudden came back. He was never the same dude. Forrest, relax. We got the full season to play out here. Hang in there. You can't pay this guy yet. You got to wait and see what this guy does. You got to wait and see how this guy comes through for you. By the way, one more time, his first two holes are awesome. He played the hole known as the Detroit Lions, and his second hole got off to a tee, unbelievable. And the Vikings are the second hole. Washington's the third hole. That's coming up on Sunday. Short work week, folks. What happens when you win on a Monday night home game and you got to go on the road for a Sunday? Ask the Vegas guys. He's going to fall because team's going to take QB's Howie vision. No way. Keeps playing like that. 7-point favorites over Washington this week. Woo! I may have to take that. Seals, do you think Cousins is better than Wentz as a pocket passer? Yes. Yes. He was terrible last night, though. Okay? Yes. I agree with you, Seals. But a team will pay that if he continues. Oh, he plays like this. There'll be a $40 million cash bag at the end of the rainbow here. Absolutely. Justin goes, Dan's right about don't pay him yet. But if he play, dude, Justin, how about this, Justin? I'm going to say something here, and I can't believe I'm going to stupidly say this. He resembles anything that he's doing in these first 2 weeks, and he keeps it going like this. We'll put a number down here like on a cocktail napkin. I say they pay him between 35 and 41 million bucks. If he resembles what he's doing. Because if he got on the open market, now know this. If he got on the open market, a lot of teams aren't built for him. Okay? A lot of teams aren't built for him. Like, he'd be running for his life in Cincinnati. Even with those star-powered offensive players they have there. He'd be running for his life. He'd be running for his life. Hurts seems like the type of kid that would take less. Guys, stop that, man. You're going to guilt him into trying to take less money? I want him to get the most money he possibly can. Shit, are you kidding me? What about the guy behind him who comes into the league? Okay? What about him? What about the guys behind him? You're looking out for your next guy coming in. That's what we're always told as players. You start taking haircuts, you hurt the next guy behind you. Remember, the owners make all the cash. And I always say this to you. So I see the players had to take haircuts when the salary cap went down, but the owners, their net wealth kept going up and their revenue stream kept going up. How come they kept getting richer and we had to take a haircut? I never got that. Why did the cap go down? Revenue didn't go down. Net wealth didn't go down for the owners. So when you say take haircuts for players, if I'm Jalen Hurts, why would I do that? What, because I love you? Shit. You give me, what are you, crazy? Guys, you should be rooting for him to get the most money he possibly can. Not hoping he takes less money. Well, because, they took a shot on me and they get, you know what it's called? Hey, I'm playing too. Okay, Merrill Reese was great in hour number 1. And I'll tell you something. Gary Cobb had to be impressed with what he saw last night. Let's bring our friend in from Fox 29. And Gary, your impressions from last night's dominating performance by the Eagles.
It was outstanding. I mean, there's no question about it that they were on top of their game. And it starts with Jalen. I mean, the job that he did throwing the ball, decision-making, and clearly he's more comfortable. He's seeing the field much better than he has in the past. And the thing that you got to give credit to Jalen is, and, when I'm up there, I'm around him, I see the kid works, man. He's not, a BSer. He's not going to be just over there running his mouth and trying to impress people with the phony stuff. The kid works, and I think what it's done is, it galvanizes the whole team. So everybody over there knows, look, we are over here with work. We're not over here playing games. And I think A.J. Brown and the kind of guys they have on the team are real people. I mean, they know that you got to put in the time and put in the work in order to prepare if you want to play well. You don't just show up on the game day, think you're just going to roll out. They've been putting in the work. And
how about this too, Gary?
Yeah.
The way he spread it around for the first time, it's clearly his best game as a
That's
pro.
right.
I mean, he wanted to get Devontae in with the first pass.
Yep.
Even the pass that Goddard dropped, he dropped it in with touch. And the seam pass he threw down to Quez, I mean, it really was his best overall performance. And I would say this to you. That has to go back to Shane and also Nick, doesn't it, on utilizing all of his strengths and getting the best out of the kid, because, boy, I'll tell you, that kid last night, he continues to play like that. There's going to be no questions about the money bag at the end of the year here.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, and it's scary. I know the rest of the league got to be looking over there, and they see all those weapons. Now, see, in the first game, you can see Detroit, they weren't comfortable trying to deal with all those weapons. That's why they were sitting in the house. We cannot just let them run the offense because we can't cover all these guys, and I don't know who can. Because you look at Dallas Goedert, look at the ability he has. That's just your tight end. And then you got, the speed with Watkins. And that's why, I wanted to see Watkins get Peterson get Watkins. But, he got deep. And you see the kind of speed he's got. You got him there, and you still got A.J. Brown to worry about. You got Miles Sanders be concerned about all those weapons. And really, I'll be honest, offensive line still didn't play their best game, man. They beat those guys that easily. And, Jalen said this. They didn't play well the way they want to in that second half. And they handily, they owned them. And then the defense, the way they were able to clamp down on Jefferson and really they took Cousins out of his game. I mean, I've never seen Cousins play that poorly.
No, 2-10 now on Monday night. But Gary, was it more about the players' accountability and them stepping up than it was? I think it's more about the players playing great than the scheme, because I still see Hassan Reddick covering backs and tight ends, and I still see some stupid shit out there with that, and he's still out of place. The D-line played better. I mean, they got after it. I thought Fletcher played well. Hargrave played well. Yeah. But was it more about the players' accountability? And they were a little bit disappointed giving so many points up to the Lions, and that was more of it last night?
I thought so. Just up there around them, they got a very sober type of a team where, guys are mature. They got guys that know, look, we got to produce. And so I think with the older guys, clearly they got guys there to know what it takes to win. So they definitely have got the younger guys going in the right direction. And we'll see. I tell you, because, see, the thing is that they can play better than they played. See, that's where the rest of the league has got to look on and say, boy, if they play the entire game, like the offense, they didn't play that well in that second half, and they're capable, I think, of putting together a whole game. But these are the type of things they're going to be working towards. So they beat them up, handily, and didn't play their best game. So what does that say about how good this team could be? But of course, you got to do it. See, still you got to do it. Talking about it is one thing, but going out there doing it is another. But they took that was a major step, and to see Jalen so comfortably reading everything that they were in, and really, you can see they're scared of these guys because they played simple. They didn't really take many chances.
No.
Now I will give Gannon credit. He did come after him. He dialed up some blitzes, and really they came through because Cousins made mistakes when they put pressure on him. When they had a guy coming free, he threw a couple of those up for grabs, and the pressure was what that did it. So I'll give Gannon some credit that he did finally come out of that loose, soft
second
zone.
best player on the field was Darius Slay, and how he's played. I mean, when you and you know this, Gary, he could be an all-pro because of what he did last night, because that's going to be a performance that you remember. You know how
I was saying it during the game.
Remember this? Watch this, Gary. Let me show you this here.
Yeah.
I show people this all the time. NFL players get a ballot.
Yeah.
And we get ballots. And here's a Pro Bowl ballot here.
Yeah.
And they have all of our names on it, and it's by position, and we vote.
Yeah.
That's the kind of performance, right, that gets you an all-pro vote.
No doubt about it. I mean, because all the talk was about Jefferson come in there. He put the blanket on him.
He did.
Okay? Put the blanket on him, man. And the thing is, he had 2 interceptions. He could have had 4 or 5. I mean, think about it. There was a couple balls in his hands he didn't come down with. He had 2 picks. He could have had 4 or 5. So, and you saw that it seemed like Jefferson and Cousins, they were getting a little irritated at each other. And that happens when, you got somebody doing a good job against you. So they did a good job. I think that they're capable of playing better. And that's really the thing that jumps out at me is on both sides of the ball, they can play better than they did.
Are you worried about a letdown this week when you come off an emotional win like that on a Monday night at home? Then you have to play a divisional opponent. And let me throw some numbers at you with Wentz. 650 yards, first 2 games. He's averaging 325, 66 completion percentage. He's got 7 touchdowns. There's some talent on the offense. Antonio Gibson can run the ball. Their line is probably the 3rd worst line that they'll play in the first 3 weeks of the year. But just your thoughts again on having a small letdown here. It is Commander Wentz week. So, I mean, that should keep everything up on a high note. How do you look at this week?
Well, you can hear a lot of people, of course, going to be jumping on Wentz and everything. But I can't deny, I don't think anybody could deny that Wentz can play outstanding football at times. He can play well. I mean, even last year, they ran him out, of Indianapolis.
Look how that's working.
Hey, I know.
They're
That's what
0-2.
I'm saying. Look at Indianapolis. They got a lot. They need to shut up. That owner over there running his mouth, he needs to shut up because they can't bust a grape over there. So in saying that, I think that Wentz is capable of coming in here and playing well enough to beat the Eagles. So they got to be serious because, and then look at the motivation he's got coming in here, especially with them up on the high perch to come in here and knock them off the perch. Come on. Would he like anything better than that? I mean, there's nothing that would be sweeter than that for Wentz.
Win. It'd be a massive, massive win for him.
Yeah.
We're able to do that. I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think Jalen Hurts, if you had to pick a quarterback in the NFC East right now, You think Hurts is the top quarterback in the East right now?
Well, I'd say right now, with the way he's played, he has played better than anybody. I mean, how important has his play been in the first 2 games for the Eagles?
Enormous.
Enormous, because the decisions he's made with his legs, the throws he's made with his arm, the guy's playing great football. The thing I still go back to is I don't like him running this much, though. I still don't like all that running, because all you need is in one of those piles where he tries to make one of those turns, somebody grabs that leg and doesn't let it go, and the other guy's twisting him. See, and the next thing you know, they're helping him up. You don't want that. So you got enough weapons where he doesn't need to run that much. Some of these guys, they clearly can't cover all the Eagles' weapons. Just get that ball out. But I do like the fact, getting on the ground. I do like the fact he does a good job of that, of getting on the ground. But down by the goal line, like when he scored that touchdown, like I said, somebody grabs one leg, the other guy's pulling him the other way, and then, he's hurt. And you don't want that, because he right now is the most important person on this team, no doubt about that.
No question. A final question for you. Miles Sanders, 90 yards in game 1, 80 last night. How important has he been so far to the success of the team?
Well, I thought that he was one of the keys next to Jalen offensively that could take them up to another level. And we haven't seen all of him. The kid has got a tremendous talent. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the size, he can give you that shake. If they got all these guys, playing at the level that they're capable of, and Miles is the key, that takes them up to another notch where they could be putting some 40 spots up on people, 40s and 50s. You're doing that in the NFL, that's scary. But they've got the kind of talent on the offense. And think about it. The offensive line, that was not one of their better games. The first game wasn't one of the offensive line's better games, but they still won both of those games handily, or were able to score. And so they're capable of playing better. I think that's got to be something the rest of the league's got to know. They better take notice, because this team is capable of playing better.
I know, man. I think
they're 2-0.
Notice, I mean,
yep,
they're going right there, and they've got the roster to win the war of it as well. Gary, thank you so much, man. It was a win. It's Commander Wentz week now, so we'll see how this thing plays out. Have a great one, brother.
Commander Wentz. That sounds good.
Thank you, Gary. Gary Cobb. All right, my friends, please hit the like button. Don't forget also, my friends at Morgan & Morgan, if you've been hurt or injured on the job, hey, one of the most important things you can get someone to defend you and your family and get the most compensation that you possibly can for your family. And that place is Morgan & Morgan. With over 800 attorneys and offices in Philadelphia, New York, and in Florida, Morgan & Morgan is there to defend you to the best of their abilities, and they will get you the compensation. Last 30 years, they've collected over $13.5 billion for their clients. Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation's free. 800-512-1600. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor. Tell them Dan Sileo sent you.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When you're hit from behind in a car crash, the insurance company may try to say, you can't possibly be hurt. It was only a few miles an hour. It's simply not true. You see, here's the thing. Getting hit at 10 miles per hour is like falling off of this. 15 miles per hour, like this. And only 25 miles per hour, this. Injured, dial pound law. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
The greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Action News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community. A sports roundup for the locals. And the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
Go passionately. Go fearlessly. Go confidently.
Go Birds!
Go confidently towards your goals with First Trust, Philly's hometown bank for nearly 90 years, and the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. We're focused on getting you over the goal line. So go with conviction, go with trust,
Go Birds!
and go forward with us by your side. First Trust Bank, the official bank of Philadelphia dreams. Oh, and go Birds.
Welcome to Pondley Hockey. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pondley Hockey a call.
E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. There. Dead paid. Hit the like button. Woo, baby. Dead paid. I'm sick of that. I don't want to do that again. Okay. Oh, God forbid, man. I'm talking MVP with Hurts and $35 million. Jesus criminy. Oh, man. And Kirk Cousins comes in strong, man. 27 of 46, 221, 2 TDs, and, of course, 3 INTs. Still stick to your day job. Thank you very much. You guys are lucky Daniel Jones fell out of that 70-yard run. That would have been the longest running touchdown by a quarterback in NFL history. Dude, the Giants are 2-0. Hey. Pats, Geno's, Wendell. Ready for Sills to eat that crow. Shit, you guys are off. Hey, let's just say this to you guys. If it's a golf match between us right now, you guys are 2 under par and I'm 2 over. I still got time. Big Sills still got time. I got a tremendous short game. You'd be shocked. Big Sills, let me see here. See that cup right there in the middle? I finished 3rd at the World Series of Golf for the NFL alumni. I was 4 under par. Hey, Don, I can hit it. May not look it today, but Big Sills can hit it. Got a great short game. Oh, irons like Tiger Woods. There you go, baby. They hand out Lombardi trophies after week 2. Hey, Carson. Shit, man. If you opened up the Philadelphia Inquirer today, unbelievable. It was, though. It was, man. You can't, hey. But boy, I'll tell you, man, today's Championship Monday or Tuesday. Championship Tuesday. I'd like to welcome Eagle fans to the Broad Street celebration. We beat the Vikings. What do we get for that? Pat on the back. And an opportunity to play week 3. That's what you get for that. Out of sight, out of mind. You got to start putting that game away because Commander Wentz. Look at the shitty quarterbacks you got. Hey, I'm not going to say that. I think Cousins puts up big numbers, man. I can't do that. I can't do that, man. Jalen Hurts, MVP talk. This has got to be the most obnoxious show of all time right here. Really? But true. True. As disappointing. Commander Wentz is in the top 10, though, with the numbers he has. Oh, Deontay, man. He's third right now. Can you imagine? He's third. And if he beats Commander Wentz, then you have this. Check this out. How about this? Can this happen for Jalen Hurts? So he beats the hottest team in the NFL after week 1, the Vikings. Don't give a shit what anybody says. They were, you know it. Got Commander Wentz week. Divisional opponent, they're better. Dougie at the link. Hey, how about this? That kid Trevor Lawrence is good. I would also say this. So you'd rather have to build your football team today after week 2? I'll ask you. After week 2 of what you've seen with Wentz, you still want Wentz over Trevor Lawrence as your future? Really? Okay. That's a $230 million Kyler Murray. Then you got Cooper Rush. Did you hear Jerry and Steven what they said about Dak Prescott? They want him back in 2 weeks. That would put him on the Cowboys in Eagle game at Lincoln Financial in week 6. Dude, if I was a defensive guy, I would pray that Dak Prescott came back for that game. And I would torture that guy. I'd go after and do everything I possibly could to that kid and try to hurt that guy. He won't be ready for that. And the Cowboys don't have a good enough O-line to protect him. Why would the Cowboys rush him back like that? Especially if this kid Cooper Rush wins another game. If he wins another game, you know what the game of the year is going to be in the NFC East this year? It's going to be that Week 16 game in Arlington. They're going to lose that game in Week 6, the Cowboys now, because Dak's out. Again, war of attrition. You got to take into consideration injuries with every team, including the Eagles. Cooper stinks. I don't know, man. He's 2-0 as a starter in the NFL. He don't look like he stinks to me. He looks like he's actually good enough to keep the meal in the oven. You know what I'm saying? He looks like a decent enough cook to know what he's doing. I'm not saying he's an elite guy or he's somebody you lean your entire franchise on, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I watched him outduel Joe Burrow. Burrow made it to a Super Bowl last year. I don't know, man. And I would say A. Thomas, too. You're right. I thought the Cowboys, you know what, A. Thomas? I think CeeDee Lamb looks better with Cooper Rush than he does with Dak Prescott. I think that, let me tell you where I think Dak is. I think Dak's all butthurt and stuff that he doesn't have Amari Cooper there anymore. That relationship between CeeDee Lamb and him is not quite, there. Him and Amari were always on the same page. It doesn't look it. This guy Rush and CeeDee Lamb look like they're kind of on the same page. That was really, what I thought was one of the coolest things last night? Apologize to Jalen. Why? After week 2? What are you, nuts? What are you, nuts? So, like, when you start a race, hey, Black, when you start a race and you beat the guy on the start, on the start, you stop the race? Come on, man. There ain't no apologizing. Ain't nothing to be sorry about. The guy was great last night. Still stopped the defense, kept Dallas in the game because somehow Cincinnati paid for O-line. Oh, God, Dom, I cannot believe they've invested that much money Okay? I cannot believe they invested that money and the equity they gave up, and they're worse, it looks like. I think they'll be better by the end of the FedEx is a dump. Dan, I just watched you sing in the fight song. What a beautiful day. Shut up, Joseph. I don't want anybody to put any likes and views on that thing. Please. The thing's an embarrassment. Look, I've got, you know how many embarrassing things I have on the internet? Yeah, some of you do know. Yeah, of course. You know what, too? What's really sad? It's my boy Xander, too. He goes, I got to put this up. Oh, God. And I'm getting hammered on my own Twitter page, at Dan Sileo Show. Yeah, look at this. People are cells. Stick with what you do, man. Sports talk, you do it great, but not this, bro. Yeah. Oh. All right. You guys got me good. You got me good today. Hey, don't get used to it. Okay, please hit the like button here. You'll get this every time Big Sills is wrong. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a TD, 1, 2, 3. Hit them low, hit them high. And watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. There. I'm lucky I spelled it right. I'm just glad I spelled it right. I'm reposting it. Shut up, Joseph. Jesus. It's my new ring. Look at his savvy goes, it's my new ringtone. Hey, we would like to send you a bill. This is JAKIB Sports. Anytime you use Sileo as a ringtone, we would like to have half a cent on that, please. Thank you very little. Yeah, pretty soon Big Joe's going to be selling that as a ringtone. Good Lord, please be right now. I'd rather listen to a cat dying. My wake-up alarm tone. You guys, there's an illness with some of you. As some of my friends on the East Coast, wait a minute. I'm talking to all my friends on the East Coast here. Some of Utes. See, I can go back to my roots now, talking to Utes. Some of Utes are really, there's a mental issue here. You need a doctor. You know, I know a couple of them. He'll sit you down on a couch. He's got a pad and a pencil, and he'll go, how you feeling today? Is everything all right? Okay. God, Jalen Hurts last night. Darius Slay shuts down Justin Jefferson. Dalvin Cook's a bum. Are you kidding? Are you going to sing the Texas A&M fight song? Not in your life. Okay? Not in your life. Oh, don't remind me of that mess. I went to bed at 9 o'clock on Saturday. I don't remember what happened. What are you talking about? Them Utes. Yeah. My stomach hurts. Dank. Jeez. Welcome to Eagle Country, Sills. Hey, Michael. There's debts to be paid. So when you talk shit, where's Joseph? Did he run away? Big Sills, love your takes. Just don't sing. Oh, what a day. Everybody kept going like, hey, everybody kept going, oh, Sileo, what are you going to say? Well, it's hole number 2. Keep your panties from getting in a bind. Calm yourselves. Take a deep breath. Watch this. I'm going to hear the help the Eagle fans. Who's Faba? Who's Faba? It's Commander Wentz week. You didn't do very much yet except win, and now you're 2-0. Long journey here. Please hit the like button. Thank you so much, SB. I was so pissed about that game. Why? The Eagles dominated. Give Hurts his credit, Sileo. Joey, I'll reset it at the top. Okay? I'll reset everything at the top in case some of you did miss it. And I'll reset it here in about 4 minutes. Beating the Commanders by 10. They lost their center. Is that true? Jesus criminy. Oh yeah, I saw the kid get hurt last week against the Lions. I watched that game. Sileo, have you been to the link? On my, hey, Nick, on my Twitter page, it's Big Sills calling a football game, and I was asked to do some work there at Lincoln Financial. I've probably been there 5 or 6 times. Yeah. On my Twitter page, the links is in my background, and I was on the desk doing a broadcast. It was a pregame for some show. I forget what it was, but I've been there a bunch of times. Yes. I've actually been to FedEx. It is a shithole. Okay. New MetLife is awesome. I actually like the new Minnesota place. Lambeau's sensational. Arrowhead is awesome. Lincoln Financial spectacular. Okay, it is. Wow, the Commanders lost their center. Jesus. Yeah, you know what, Nick? The Redskins then, now the Commanders, thought moving it to Landover was going to be a good deal, get it out in the suburbs. They lost their fan base. Same thing what the 49ers did. They moved the team to Santa Clara. They lost all their 49er fans. That's Raider country, dude. That's not 49er country. That's why nobody's in the seats. Have you been to SoFi? I have been to SoFi. I was there when they opened it. I was actually there when they cut the ground on it. I was also part of the people that broke soil on that ballpark that the San Francisco Giants play. I did it with Willie Mays, and when Stretch was alive, Juan Marichal. I did it with Mays, McCovey, Marichal, and I believe Orlando Cepeda. We broke ground on that China Basin Stadium where the San Francisco Giants play. Yeah, I was. Can you imagine Big Sill sitting in the crowd with those dudes? I worked at KBR at the time, and they wanted somebody from the station, to go down there and break the soil there with the San Francisco Giant legends. I'm standing in a pile with Mays, Cepeda, Marichal, Stretch, McCovey, and Mays. I'm like, okay. Oh, man. If you're going to see empty seats, you could see a UCLA game. Yeah, that was pregame stuff, man. That place was packed. Yeah. Fun fact. How much did it cost to build SoFi? I think it was like $2 billion. Something like that, right? We're going to reset everything. I got all my notes here. God, I can't wait for this day to end. And I don't want to say this anymore. And someone say, well, Sills, aren't you happy they won? Yeah, but I can't believe that I was so just wrong. Oh, betting on Cousins. Let me get my stats in order here. My takeaway sheet. I was gonna throw the Fly Eagles fly song sheet away, but I think I'm gonna keep it next to my calendar here. I think I'm gonna keep it next to the schedule too. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if I'm having a good feeling about it. I think the Commanders picked up a center from Texas. Yeah, that ain't going to help them picking a guy up off the street. $5 billion. Wow. Commander Wentz, baby. You better get ready. He's out playing your guy, you know. Jalen's not averaging 325 yards. He don't have 7 touchdown passes. Look at Commander Wentz. Carson Wentz is beating Jalen Hurts in just about every single passing statistic that's out there. Do you know that? You know that, right? Benson, thank you. 49ers are back in the picture for sure. Hey, Commander Wentz, baby. He's back. Hey, by the way, this is for Jim Irsay. Hey, Jim, how them Colts doing? Oh, let me guess. You're 0-2? Gotcha. Paul, football's not about numbers. Then why do you quote him about Jalen to me? Jalen wins 2, Wentz 1. Carson Wentz, 32 million. Jalen Hurts 1. That's really the only money. That's really the only number that matters in the NFL. You ready? Carson Wentz, 32 million. Jalen Hurts 1. Hit the like button. I'll reset hour 2. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
The greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Action News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community. A sports roundup for the locals. And the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
Go passionately. Go fearlessly. Go confidently.
Go Birds!
Go confidently towards your goals with First Trust, Philly's hometown bank for nearly 90 years, and the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. We're focused on getting you over the goal line. So go with conviction, go with trust,
Go Birds!
and go forward with us by your side. First Trust Bank, the official bank of Philadelphia dreams. Oh, and go Birds.
Welcome to Pondley Hockey. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pondley Hockey a call.
Eagles. There. Debt paid. Debt paid. Don't get used to it. Hit the like button, hour 3. Good night. Yeah. The show done yet? Okay, anyway. Oh. Okay. Promise to reset here. And I will say this to you. Okay. It was a tremendous performance last night. All kidding aside here. Tremendous performance last night against a very good football team. I'm not one of those guys that are going to sit out here the next day and go, well, it's only the Vikings. That's not true. The Vikings were one of the hottest teams coming into week 2. You all know it. Okay? Everyone knows it, including myself. Plus, you took out one of the best wide receivers. I'll take that back. I dubbed him the best wide receiver in the NFL, and you shut him down. Okay? You have only 15 more times to sing it. I'll play it a few more. That's about I see. No. 15. Holy shit. You think this team's winning 15 ball games? Holy Madon. Oh. It was a great performance. And by the way, let's do this. Let's do something here too, not just talking about last night's game. How do you think the Eagles have played the first 2 weeks of the season? What would you say the Eagles, give them a grade the first 2 weeks? I think it's a B+. I think it's a B+. I think in the first game, you did what you had to do to win. Jalen did everything Let me say this to you. Look at how Jalen won that game compared to how he won the Viking game. Complete opposite, right? How many quarterbacks in the league can do that? Tom Brady can't do that. You know what the problem, I think, with Jalen Hurts is when it comes to evaluating him? You really don't know what he is. We've never seen people win with that style. And I'm not talking Michael Vick winning. I'm talking championship winning. You don't really win like that. But what he is now in today's NFL, because of salary cap, players constantly leaving, he hides so many deficiencies. If your O-line's not blocking very well against the Lions, you know what he's going to do? He's going to take off running. Actually, there's a lot of things he did in that opening week against the Lions that I would say this. I thought he had better moments in that game because he had to do certain things to win the game. He's doing a lot of positive stuff. He really is. New coaches, new players, same results. We owe the Vikings the same team we whacked in Philly. Then 2 weeks later, went into their building and won the Super Bowl. Vikings are a good football team, dude. I am not dismissing anything they did. I thought the entire effort was awesome last night. Fan base was great. The place was electric. Jonathan Gannon. Can I say this, guys, without you guys? I don't know. Maybe you disagree with me here. I don't think Gannon did anything special except for a couple blitzes. I think the players did everything special. I think it's the players getting more comfortable inside of what they're asking him to do. Because, again, Hassan Reddick was still out of position last night, pretty much the entire night. And I'll say this to you. He's a non-factor on that team. Why are they playing him? Him on the field? Am I wrong? Hassan Reddick has made no plays. And 0. He's done nothing. I go like this. Why are you playing him? Why is he covering tight ends? Why is he covering backs? He's inept at that. It's not what he does. And Gannon still has him in that. And I'm like this. Look at the numbers. You go by the numbers and the stats in the game. It was a great performance, but why are you playing him? You got him in a position of limited success. Okay? I'll get to the numbers here in a second. It was a great performance, but again, just looking at how he's playing him still, I don't know. Reddick, he's done nothing. We'll see. Hey, maybe Commander Wentz week, he'll get 3 sacks. Okay? Maybe they'll turn him loose here and he becomes a factor against Carson Wentz this week. 215 said Reddick is a non-factor, but that's not on Gannon. Not Reddick. He had no problems on his previous 2 teams. Well, he's a non-factor in Philly. He's done nothing. Maybe that changes. Okay? I want Reddick and Davis to blitz along with Dean. Dude, Dean can't see the field. You're putting Reddick in coverage is ridiculous and stupid. I agree 100%. Hey, Gino, I'm going to get to Fletcher here in a minute. I know. Hey, Dan, what did you think of some of them throws from Hurts? I'm going to get to him now. Jalen Hurts in the ball game. 26-31, 333, 108.7 quarterback rating. He was tremendous. His touch passes, his seam pass, finding Devontae, getting Devontae involved in the game plan. What I really thought was cool, he was not going to have another game where Devontae wasn't part of the game plan. As a matter of fact, Devontae had the most catches, and that was cool. And it was a priority. You could see of Jalen Hurts not to let that happen again. And that's cool. You know, sometimes quarterbacks, man, they'll shun people. They won't throw to them. They'll have whatever reasoning. They get into a comfort zone with a guy. He knows he needs Devontae Smith to win ball games this year. He can't have that guy having goose eggs. I give it to him, man. First pass, you get it to him. I thought that was spectacular. I thought it was great, him doing that. Doug or Wentz will beat us. Leaning towards Doug. Think the Jags beat the Eagles? I don't know. But here, thanks, Flex, too, by the way. I just think Jalen was great. I think Jalen's been great for 2 weeks. You know, I went back and I told you that 56% completion percentage had a lot of false numbers to it because he threw the ball out of bounds numerous times, so he didn't take minus yardage. And what he did is his best game as a professional football player on Monday night. The whole thing, the leadership, throwing the ball, the way he commanded the huddle, his presence in the pocket, the way he rolled, the way he moved, everything. It was by far his best moment. Now, it's a moment. Before you guys start going nuts on it, it's a moment in time. Can he do what the guys like Brady and all these great players like Mahomes, can that become consistently when you watch this, when I see Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen play, that's an every week thing. These guys are great every week. Every week they're doing every week. Now, Jalen's not going to look like those guys because the game against the Lions was completely different than what he did last night, but he was just as effective. How about this? They don't win both those games unless Hurts is not on the field. That's in the quarterback's hands. So I think it's more of a me thing, actually, guys. I got to get you. Oh, my God. Brian, the refs blew out loud last night. That call on Devontae Smith was atrocious. What they call him for? A pick play? It was terrible. These guys need to get their shit together. However, Brian, those RPO blocks that O-linemen have to do, that's a hard block. And that's timing with the quarterback and the O-line. Because when you're doing those RPOs, you don't know where the quarterback is behind you. And that's kind of a timing thing for you to be able to get out and get up the field. They'll work that out. That's something that will get better with more reps. You guys got to remember something. Last night is only 120 minutes of football that team's played together as a unit. 120 minutes is all they played. Some of you go, what about training? They didn't practice or do any shit during training camp. They had no scrimmages that mattered. They had no games like when you're talking about playing exhibition ball games. They didn't play any of that. Hurts is answering every question. Love to see 3 to 4 passing TD game next week. I don't really put a number on him now. Brian, again, Brian, just because I had an opinion doesn't mean I can't tell you guys what I saw. You see, I try telling people this. I'm an observationist more so than anything. I observe something and I talk about it. I don't pray about it. I don't wish for it. I just tell you what I see. And that kid played great last night. Things that I was saying, he was awesome last night. He was tremendous. Heavy blitz and coverage disguise is coming this week. Eagles need to be heavy on the run this week. Joe, great take. Joe, I think they're going to take a little bit of what Detroit did and they're going to blitz as much as they can because you know why? They're going to be outmanned. The Washington Commanders are going to be outmanned this weekend, so they're going to have to do everything in their power to slow them down a little bit. Dank goes, I don't think Hurts is up there with the top guys yet. He's not. He's not. But he's in the conversation with the top guys right now on getting out to the best start so far. And like I said, I think he's in the conversation in the top 5 when it comes to most valuable player conversation right now. I got Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, Lamar, and Tua. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think Shane Steichen did a super job last night too with Jalen Hurts. He doesn't get enough credit too. Fletcher Cox played well. Another takeaway. I thought Fletcher played as good as I've seen in about 10 games. Now, I told you this last week. Fletcher's going to do this. He's going to flash, and then he's going to go away. He's going to flash and then go away. He's not consistent enough any longer in his career to do that every night. He was high on emotion. The team was. Fletcher's not going to play like that every night and every week. He can't. He hasn't. He hasn't for 2 years. He's not going to put games together like he did on Monday night. He hasn't done it. You're hoping that he goes back to 17, Fletcher Cox. He's not there. He's not that guy anymore. Bold take, Hurts 4 or 5 TDs next game to show up Wentz. How many touchdown passes does he have on the year now? 2? Wentz has 7. Wentz has 7 TDs, right? My favorite thing about last night was Hurts's poise. Yeah, Henpen. It was great poise in the pocket. It was tremendous. Tremendous poise. Fletcher played great. Darius Slay last night. Boy, I'll tell you something. Hey, what do you think is the greatest move, free agent-wise, that Howie Roseman has made since he's been an Eagle? Is it Darius Slay? Has he been the greatest acquisition since he's been a member of the decision-making team? Let's see. Slay was a trade, I know. Is that okay? Not somebody he drafted. Let me quantify it. Okay? I mean, Slay was a Pro Bowler last year. Slay was out of this world. He was. Jason Peters. Kaiser White. Well, okay. We'll wait. I think he's played well 2 weeks in a row. Malcolm Jenkins. Heck of a move. Think Jenkins is better than Slay? Slay shut down the best wide receiver in the NFL. Slay shut down the best dude in today's NFL wide receiver. LeGarrette Blount was a massive red zone acquisition in 17. You know, Miles Sanders has played well. Okay? And Nick Sirianni's got to get a lot of credit. Guys really did a great job last night. Really did a spectacular job. Those linebackers. Hey, man, I'll tell you this too. TJ Edwards, undrafted. That guy is some ball player. Okay. Chris Long didn't really make the Pro Bowl, though, right? As an Eagle, he didn't make the Pro Bowl. I know he won a Super Bowl, but he didn't make a Pro Bowl, I don't believe, with the Eagles. I don't think he made a Pro Bowl. Okay, Jenkins, Slay. I don't know, man. Darius Slay was spectacular. By the numbers last night, 24-7, obviously. Eagles were 7 of 13 on third down. Always a great number. And the defense held the Vikings to 4 of 12. They dominated the Packers. That's a great question. You think the Eagles are better than Green Bay right now? or as good. Quarterback superior. Rodgers is superior to Hurts. Hurts has more weapons. Hurts has a better old line until Bakhtiari gets back. Aaron Jones is a better back than Miles Sanders. Pretty close. I never thought it was that close. Okay? I never thought it was that close. Dude, if you're out of your tree if you think Aaron Rodgers is not better than Jalen Hurts. You're out of your mind. Okay? Jordan Mailata has to play a little bit better. Has to play a little better. First 2 games, I don't know. Has to play a little better. Okay? A little bit better. Okay? A little better. That guy's not really playing at elite level right now. Okay, I mean, dude, pick it up. Getting beat on second moves again. I thought he rectified that. They get that second move on him, he can't get back into position. He's got to get better at that. Second week in a row, he's been beat around the wheel. Come on, dude. Got to play better. Yeah, I would tell you this. Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson is playing A. Okay? Lane's playing A ball. Landon Dickerson needs to pick it up a tad bit too. Okay? Kelsey's, he's playing, in my opinion, bandaged up. I don't really think the O-line has really performed that well. And get this, they still ran for 163 yards and 200 yards against the Lions in week 1. I'm going to tell you something. They don't look as good as they did a year ago. Just saying. Especially in pass protection. They got to pick that up a bit. Okay? Mailata is looking the worst out of all of them. I think Isaac Seumalo's actually played a pretty good first 2 games. I think he's actually played well. That guy deserves a contract extension too. I don't know what Howie's thinking. You're going to let that guy walk out the building? Shit, there'll be a line around the NovaCare Center getting ready to sign that guy if you let that guy just walk. You know, he's going through, and at the end of the year, he's a free agent. You're going to let him walk away? I don't know. He's outplayed Dickerson. I think Dickerson's had moments, but I don't know. That whole left side has not played great. The right side's played really well. Isaac had a great game last night. He did. Dude, I watched him last night knocking those Viking guys off the ball. I don't know what they're waiting for with Isaac Seumalo. I have no idea what they're waiting for. You can't let that guy just walk out the building. Cowboys will pick his ass up. Teams are going to die for that guy. He's played well, man. I kept watching the game last night. I go, well, there's a guy Howie's letting walk through. And him and Miles Sanders, shit, their value goes up every week. Seumalo's stock has gone up every week so far in these first 2 weeks. He's a free agent at the end of the year, and so is Sanders. 90 yards, 70 yards. Hey, end of the day here, he's battling it out right now with Saquon Barkley as the best back in the NFC East, statistically. I mean, Miles is playing really good football, man. Seumalo's playing really good football. Those are 2 guys that are not under contract when the last game of the year's up. I don't know. You're going to let them walk? Okay. Miles had a solid game. Dude, he's averaging, let's see now. He's got to be averaging 85 yards a game right now. First 2 games, he's averaging 85 yards. Shit. 85 yards, he's on pace for 13. I think he's on pace for 1,300 yards. I don't know what you're saying. That's not solid. 85. He's on pace for 1,500 yards. That's solid? I don't know. That's all pro. Keeps that pace up. This guy's going to have 1,445 at the end of the year. You're just going to let him walk away too? This guy has 1,400 yards. You're going to let that walk away? Boy, I'm not. Not going to break the bank for him. Yeah, he's averaging 85 yards. I think he's cooking too. Yeah, well, we'll get into how they're going to play, in my opinion, how they're going to play Washington. Miles still has that zip in his run, and he's dropping his shoulder. Dude, Mr. International, he looks great. Okay, he looks great. Kelsey was in his bag last night. Love seeing him open up. Oh, he was really great last night. And he's just strung together, man. Jason Kelsey. I love the brother being there too. I love the whole thing. I think it was great. Russell Wilson is not cooking. Okay? Dan, that's Fletcher Cox money. Okay, Joe, that's a great. So you think they'll move some of that 14-4 over? Good take. Joe. Yeah, but I would do, you know what though, Joe? I would take that 14-4 and I'd pay Sayamalo before I would pay Miles Sanders. I would because look, my objective, I got to keep Jalen healthy. And Miles is good and all. I'll draft me another running back. 3rd round or something like that, right? Sayamalo needs a contract. He needs to get extended. He keeps playing like this, he'll make the Pro Bowl. He's been outstanding. Love watching him, man. I keep an eye on him because the Eagles haven't given him a contract and they allowed him to walk into the season without having one. And I'm like, really? Most talented linemen get signed and sealed before the last year of their deal. And Howie just let this guy walk in there. You know, maybe that's why he's restructuring some of these contracts, because he knows he's got to give some money. They may offer Miles and Sayamalo in season a new contract and extend them and get hometown discounts. I could see Sayamalo wanting to stay at a reduced price because he's in a comfort zone. I could see that. Okay? I could totally see that. Steven goes, you think Minshew will be on a team by the end of the season? No, he's a security blanket, Steven. He's one of the most important players on the roster. What if something happens to Jalen? And it could happen at any moment because of the style of play he plays. You've got to have a guy back there that can play. Did you hear the Cowboys are even considering bringing back Ben Roethlisberger out of retirement and having him back up this guy, Cooper Rush, until Dak gets back? There's conversation in Dallas with that. That's how desperate they are. There's Gardner Minshew. The only way I'm getting rid of Gardner Minshew is if the Cowboys give me a 1 for him. Why would I help Dallas? What, help them beat me? No, thank you. I want Dallas to die on the vine. You don't want to help them at all in any way. Let them die on the vine. I'd rather keep a guy on my roster that they wanted and they were going to give me a draft choice than help them win a game. You want to deal with me? I'll deal with you in the draft like they did when they made position moves with the Cowboys to get Devontae. I'll do that, but don't talk to me in season. Dude, I got a big game coming up in week 6. I'm not here to help you in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, be prepared to have your towels have a lot of starch in them when you come to Lincoln Financial in week 6. Okay? Damn. But is that crazy? Stubbs, really? He's on his 2nd extension already? Shit. Time to give him another one. Time to give him another one. Sylvester goes, that's bullshit. You hate Hurts. I've never on this program ever said I hated Jalen Hurts. Ever. I don't hate anybody, dude. Only people I hate are Nazis. I don't hate anybody. You got me wrong. Okay? A few people in radio I could come up with, but that's a personal note. You hate him. You can't be talking good about a guy who played great last night. Really? What should I say? Lie to you? Hey, the guy sucked last night. Can you believe Jalen Hurts throwing that touchdown pass to Quez Watkins? Why didn't he throw it to Devontae Smith? Is that what you want me to do? Come up with bullshit that you listen to over and over again and that shit and those crappy-ass stations? Those crappy-ass stations feed you that shit. I don't. I see a guy play well. Okay? But you did say Jefferson is better than Slay. I did. Somebody stepped up and proved me wrong. Congratulations to you, Darius. You shut down the best wide receiver in the league. Congratulations. Mike, he won. He was better. What do you want me to say? He wasn't? But you did say, okay, Slay proved me wrong. Congratulations. Dude, this is not about me being right. This is about me talking about what you and I watch all the time. If you're under some crazy notion I'm trying to be right, I like conversation, and I don't like one-way conversations. As a matter of fact, I actually, if you notice, some of the people who I have adversarial conversations with, I like actually talking to them more. Washington Salamanders, I love it. What a stupid name, the Commanders. Hey, watch this. Hey, have you put your commander on today? Sounds like a prophylactic. Hey, I've got my box of Commanders. Every time I see there's two sports teams that remind me of prophylactics. The Guardians, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Commanders. Jesus. Slay, Ramsey. Shit, man. I don't think Jalen Ramsey's looked good this year. I thought Jalen Ramsey got beat in the Atlanta game last week. They command respect. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. I hate yes men too, man. I hate having conversations with people on the radio like that too. I do. 1025 The Bone. Hey, is that Tampa? Is that Tampa, man? Yeah. They got Cowhead. They got Cowhead there. Cowhead couldn't get a job on WDAE when I was there. And now he's like the number one guy in Tampa mornings. Pretty crazy how that thing goes now. Yeah. He's good, though, man. He does a great show. And he's really come into himself. By the way, that station's awesome, too. A lot of good people there. A lot of good friends I know there, too. I know they're going through management. Yeah, man, Cowhead's good folk, man. Follow each other on Twitter, too. Feels like just like giving you a hard time. Mike, it's all good, man. All good, brother. All good. He also built The Volume, which is a great media company. Yeah. Good folks, man. Good folks. Yeah. Mike's good people, man. The question is, what do you do when the question is what to do with them first round picks? Man, you're in a position right now where that's gravy. Dog, seriously, man, that's icing right now. This kid turns out to be what he's playing like. Okay? He turns out to be what he's playing and looking like right now. Brother, good grief. What's your next week prediction? Let me get over today. Okay, Shane? I've already had to sing. Jesus criminy. Hey, wait a minute. You know what? You know what they're treating me like? Hey, some of you guys, you know what they're treating me like in Philadelphia now? A rookie. Sileo, you're a rookie sports talker here in our town. And when you F up, hey, man, receipts have to be paid. So I had to pay up and I had to sing the Eagle Fight song, just like I would if I was a rookie in the NFL and I screwed up. Okay, so I had to sing today. Give me a break. I got a prediction. We'll do that towards the end of the week. By the way, I'm 1-1. Okay, I thought you'd win the Lions game. Jesus criminy. Sileo, you're still a rookie. Yeah. I think this rookie's owning it. You're all here. You're all here. That's great. Yeah, man. Really good. Really good. Let me do this here one more time here. I love this, man. You guys have been... So you guys made me do this. Okay, please hit the like button here. You'll get this every time Big Sills is wrong. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a TD, 1, 2, 3. Hit them low, hit them high. And watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. There. Debt paid. Debt paid. Don't get used to it. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show. Please hit the like button.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
The greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Action News at 11 with Rick Williams. It's the team you trust to bring it all together. The stories that impact your community. A sports roundup for the locals. And the AccuWeather forecast you depend on. Action News at 11 with Rick Williams.
Go passionately. Go fearlessly. Go confidently.
Go Birds!
Go confidently towards your goals with First Trust, Philly's hometown bank for nearly 90 years, and the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. We're focused on getting you over the goal line. So go with conviction, go with trust,
Go Birds!
and go forward with us by your side. First Trust Bank, the official bank of Philadelphia dreams. Oh, and go Birds.
Welcome to Pondley Hockey. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pondley Hockey a call.
like button. National Football Show. It's your boy Big Sills. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. My top 10 NFL teams. You ready? Here they are. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys. You know what? I'm going to change that. I'm going to put the Chargers there. I'm going to put the Chargers there. I don't believe the Dallas Cowboys are the 10th best team in the league right now. I think their defense is great. Okay, I think they struggle running the ball still. I think they're doing better. But I think the Chargers are a better team than the Cowboys. Number 9, I got the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson's playing as great as he can. That comeback win by the Dolphins was not on that offense. It was on that defense. I've never seen the Ravens play, and I got to think it's a one-off. Okay? I just got to think it's a one-off because they don't traditionally play that shitty, okay, on defense. So I'm going to go 9. Because Jimmy G's back in the building, I'm going to put the 49ers at 8. I got the Packers at 7. I got the Dolphins at 6. Hey, C's, you think Kyle Hamilton is playing well? I got the Rams at 5. I got the Eagles 4th. This is in the league, not NFC. I got the Bucks 3rd, Chiefs 2, Bills 1. Chargers, Ravens, 49ers, Packers, Dolphins, Rams. I got the Rams better than the Eagles. I got the Eagles better than the Rams. Wow. The Bucks, Chiefs, and Bills. Can the Eagles beat the Bills? No. Can the Eagles beat the Chiefs? They have no running game. Eagles can't beat the Bucks. They can beat the Rams. They can beat the Dolphins. The Packers. I don't give a shit the Rams are 1-1. The Giants are 2-0. You think they're the best team in the East? That's how dumb that is when people do that. So the Giants are 2-0. What? They're better than the Rams? Come on. The Giants. Can they beat the Packers? Boy, I'll tell you, the more I think of, are the Eagles right there with the Packers? Can the Eagles beat the 49ers with Jimmy G? You didn't last year, but you're better this year. Jalen's better this year. That's a close game. Can you beat the Ravens? Yeah. Can you beat the Chargers? No, you didn't last year, but you're better now. I don't know. Hurts has improved. Hey, man, good 2 games. Look at James. Wrong again? Well, bro, let's hang in there. Okay? There's 15 more games. Hang in there before you start barking like that. Hey, I won the Week 2 Super Bowl trophy. What's that thing called? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Well, here's what you've won. False Hope Trophy. Hang in there. Hang in there. We'll see by week 8 where you are. Packers aren't dialed in yet. The receivers aren't looking as good. And some of you called me out on that. And it looks like a thing. the Bears sucked, so that wasn't really a barometer when it came to the evaluating the Packers last week. I mean, Chicago stinks. I did talk about 41-20, jackass. Eagles versus the 49ers would be a hell of a ball game. It would be. Everyone wanted Watson and Wilson. No, I wanted Watson. I never said I wanted Wilson. And I still would want Watson. He's a better thrower. He's a better quarterback than Jalen. There's a reason he got $230 million guaranteed. Jalen will never get that kind of contract. Ever. Are you crazy? This guy got a fully guaranteed $230 million contract with 22 sexual assault accusations against him. You better be pretty damn good to get that. Yeah. Andrew Berry's doing it, man. What a weight scale that is. 22. I mean, usually that tips the boat over, right? This guy's really good, though, Sills. It's a rocky scale, man. That guy got the greatest contract in NFL history. $250 million guaranteed. Here you go, Deshaun. That shit, that's don't worry about it. We'll get past it. Andrew Berry, man. Hey, and by the way, they're 1-1. They're thrilled, I bet, to be 1-1. See what happened? They're talking about that's front of Watson looks like a bum. He does? Well, he's a rich bum. And he's got a fully guaranteed deal. You're giving out commemorative, hey, I really had a great night trophy. Hey, man, he really played great career night against the Vikings. Okay, great. It's the NFL, kids. You're not in Kansas anymore. That's expected. When you're those great players, Josh Allen can't go, well, running game has to carry him or the defense has to carry him. No. Patrick Mahomes loses Tyreek Hill. They haven't lost a beat. I mean, he's actually improved Tagovailoa. Remember you had the Eagles at 9? Okay. I also had the Eagles winning the NFC Championship for the last 4 months. You forgot that too, didn't you? James goes, Sills, please don't sing our song anymore. That was horrible. Oh, man. How dare you? How dare you talk to me like that? Hold on here. How dare you talk to me like that? That's one of the greatest fight songs of all time. Okay, please hit the like button here. You'll get this every time Big Sills is wrong. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a TD, 1, 2, 3. Hit them low, hit them high. And watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. There. Dead paid. Yeah, Dan, you have to sing a little slower with more. But you didn't feel the energy or my warmth in the song. Sorry about that. James, I recognize you. James, I recognize you. I see you, James. Does that make you feel better, Sonny? It's okay, Jamesy. James needs his, hey, James, I got you, sonny boy. It's okay. Good kid. You know, go sit in the corner now. It's all right. Yeah. I had to, with more feeling, right? I sound like Archie Bunker. Please stop, okay? Don't get me in any more trouble than I have been in. Hey, what you need to do next time is dance and say, oh, thank you. Okay, so what? Now I'm a joke? I look like a clown to you or something here? Think I need a scotch. Yeah. You can't hide it anymore. Hide what? I don't hide. Oh, yeah, that's what I do. Hey, James, what do I hide? My weight? Hide what? Some of these people are Stonads. Look it up, kid. Okay, I'm actually Italian, so look it up. I'll help you out there. Stop. No more singing. You're killing me. The pause. Hey, Trader Chris. Trader Chris is the only one that recognized that. I had to do the pause to make sure I spelled Eagles right. Oh, man. Hey, right? You're a joke like Flip Wilson. No, dickhead. I was wrong last night. Stop flip-flopping. I was wrong. Hello. They won in impressive fashion. What are you talking about? So being wrong is flipping when you say that a kid played well. So would you really rather have me sit here for 3 hours bashing a kid who was awesome last night? What a stupid ass. How in the world can you say that? What a dummy. Hey, well, he still sucks. He didn't last, and I don't think he sucked 2 weeks in a row. He's actually been the reason they've won. Last year, that wasn't the case. These are the first 2 games where he's not the caboose. And he's the engine. Last year, he was carried to the playoffs and backed in to the playoffs. This year, he's the engine. Certain people in the NFL are engines. Some, like Baker Mayfield, are cabooses. Some people have to be carried in. He was carried in. He wasn't the reason last year. Okay? He's been great. Hurts has been better than I thought he would be. James, it's true. Actually, James, I'm going to say this. He's actually improved more than I thought. And I would make this point to you too, James. That kid Cooper Rush in Dallas, I'm actually kind of surprised that guy's that good too. I didn't think he was that good also. Okay? I didn't think he was that good. All right? I didn't. I agree. Long season. Let's enjoy the ride, fellas. Hey, Chris. Absolutely. Nick says, what's up, Big Sills? Where were you most impressed with last night? Hurts' completion percentage or the defense? Great question. I love that. Where are those numbers? You hold the Vikings to 59 total plays. Okay? 59 total plays. Okay? You held them to 202 passing. You held them to 62 yards rushing. Still, all that being said, it was Jalen. Jalen, the way he threw the ball last night, it's his best pro game. How many games he's played 25, whatever games he's played, that's the best moment he's had as a pro. That doesn't make a career, friends. It's not. However, the first 2 games of the year, like I said, have been an absolute, not surprise, fulfillment. Because all the things that he's been working on, you see him. Better reading, better pocket presence, his durability, his smarts. I'll tell you something that Carson Wentz will never have that he has. And it's been evident in the first 2 games. You ready? He had an awful completion percentage, right? In week 1. The offensive line was getting annihilated on pass probe. How many times did you see him running towards the sidelines, and him just do this? Flip the ball out of bounds for an incomplete pass. He did it. I counted 8 times. Well, shit. 56% completion, 8 throwaways. You're talking 63. So he would have been in that conversation 63, 64, somewhere. But he didn't want to take negative plays. So in that game, he made a tailor-made game plan to beat the Lions. Turns around against the Vikings, completely different than what he did versus the Lions. Quez and Devontae and throwing passes. God forbid, too. The most frightening thing about Jalen Hurts is third down. How many times were you watching that game last night that you said this? Shit, 3rd and long? That don't mean dick to that kid. Okay? That doesn't mean anything to him. I mean, every time it was 3rd and long, I felt queasy as a defensive guy going, dude, you better have a guy spy that guy or he's going to pick that thing up. He's going to pick that up because you can't defend when he breaks down defenses like that. I mean, I mean, 3rd and long, you're like, I don't know, man. Every time it was 3rd and 2, I was like this, they're picking that up. And it showed it too. They were 7 of 13 on 3rd down. And look at all these numbers here too. I mean, he was really great, man. Really great. And hey, many of you guys are coming in late. Our open will be premiering at 6 p.m. By the way, too, we had Merrill Reese on, and Merrill was spectacular. And also Gary Cobb will also have those interviews up for you as well. I thought they were good too, man. Hey, by the way, man, I kept getting on my Twitter page, hey, Sales from Philly 500. What's up? What's up? Oh, my God. I got a question. Who do we extend? Who do we let talk? Who do we trade? A first rounder or more picks to replace the people we let walk? Boy, Justin, I'm not letting Isaac Seumalo walk. I'm not letting that guy walk. I might let Miles Sanders walk, but he's on pace right now for 1445. Dude, if they have the season that people are expecting them to have and the way that they've gotten out to a start, there's going to be some career years that you're going to have to pay. By the way, this has come down to the owner at the end of the day, too. You may have to pay Isaac Seumalo some money. You're going to have to pay Jalen Hurts some money. You're going to have to pay Miles Sanders some money. There's guy, hey, are you going to play Hardgrave money? Are you going to pay Fletcher Cox money? Are you going to bring Bradbury back? You got big money decisions to make at the end of the year. It's almost like this is like their Super Bowl window. Fletcher, Hardgrave, Bradbury, Seumalo, Sanders. All these guys are up. Half that team will be different next year if they don't win. And if they do win, then the organization's got to make decisions when it comes to salary cap. You pay the quarterback, you're not paying the rest of them guys. Your entire team will be different next year if you pay the quarterback $45 million, you got 5 or 6 guys that are on one-year deals that are on your team right now. Great conversation. By the way, we'll start our Commander Wentz. What a game. It's going to be at FedEx, worst stadium in the country, in college and pro. But they have to go there. Hopefully they got the railing fixed, right? All right. Hey, great stuff. I want to thank everybody for coming aboard. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button. Till tomorrow, 3 to 6 Eastern. We'll see you on the flip side.